Shalom, Israel. Shalom. 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 Greetings. This is the third Charles D, also known as Ka Samak. And I'm here today with a quick connect. A quick connect is something I want to do that just basically hit you with just a couple scriptures to get you thinking. Hopefully to inspire you to search out the scriptures. It is not a complete study or a in-depth teaching. It's just something to get you thinking because, it's necessary. It's necessary for us to live lives that are pleasing to the Most High. The first thing we're going to need is faith. And so this quick connect is on faith. So we need it to please the Most High. So in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, it says, "But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." So, if we're going to please the Most High, we have to come to him in faith, meaning we have to believe that he is the Most High, first of all. Above all and everything, he is the Most High. He has the authority over everything. And the scriptures actually talk pretty plainly and clearly about that. I know a lot of people think that there's this great battle between God and the devil, God and Satan, but that's not true. Satan is only doing what the Most High allows him to do, and that's proven in the story of Job. Just to name one spot, he can only do what the Most High allows him to do. So the Most High is all powerful. He has all the authority. So if you're going to come to him, if you're going to please him, that's the first thing you got to have. That understanding that he is the Almighty. Secondly, or also in addition to that, you have to believe or have faith that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So then you have to ask, well, then how do I seek him? Well, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. I like, a lot of people basically they get into the New Testament and then they disregard the Old Testament, so-called. I'm just going to use those terms even though they were never called Old and New Testament. I mean, these are the scriptures. The so-called Old Testament are the scriptures, but for edification. So we understand one another, I'll just say Old and New. People just kind of disregard the Old Testament like we're all done with that now. We have no more need for that, but that's the foundation. And if you take the foundation away from anything, what's going to happen to whatever's on top of that foundation? It's going to fall. So we can never take away the foundation. We have to always be able to come back to the foundation. And in fact, in recent times, I'm actually studying the foundation, the law, the Torah, more than anything else, to get that foundation strong, to understand who the Most High is and how I'm supposed to live. So anyway, Deuteronomy chapter 4, let's start at verse 29. It says, "But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him. If thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul." Verse 30. "When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days," and we're in the latter days, "if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shall be obedient unto his voice." So then the question is, are we hearing his voice audibly right now all the time? Of course not. So how do we hear his voice? These scriptures, these words, this book, this Bible. That's how we hear his voice. And he's explained to us very clearly what he desires from us, what he wants from us. And if we believe that and then do that, that is seeking him. If we believe the words of this book and then do the words of this book, that's what he said. He said, seek with all of our heart and with all of our soul And even in the latter days, if we turn to the Lord thy God and be obedient unto his voice. What does obey mean? Obey means to do what he said to do. Any parent knows that. I mean, parent and child, we all know those. We all know that, what obedience is. So faith, we have to have it in order to please the Most High. And it says that if we're going to have that faith, if we're going to please the Most High, then we have to seek him. So seeking him, one of the major ways we show him that we're seeking him is obedience to his voice, to his word, what he gave us, obedience. All right, what else? So to please him, you got to have faith. But many people think faith just, is what they say, talking all the time. I think it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. If I say it enough, then that's good enough. Okay, let's go to James chapter 2. Because point number 2 is faith needs works. Faith needs works. Let's just read it. James chapter 2, verse 17. It says, even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. So faith by itself is dead, being alone. Look at verse 18. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith. A man may say that, and I have works. So a man may say, you got faith and I got works. Show me thy faith without thy works. Show me your faith without your works. How you going to show somebody? James said, I will show you my faith by my works. Meaning, you can tell what I believe or what I have faith in by what I do. You can tell what a person has faith in or what they believe by what they do. So the Most High said that without faith, it's impossible to please him. So simply saying, I love you, God. I love you, Lord. I worship you. But it ain't doing nothing. So then you might, what do I have to do? Do I have to give to the poor? Do I have to go to church? No, he told us what to do. Remember, obedience to his voice, meaning you got to go and read this word, study what he said to do, and then do that. That is seeking him. So we have been given all kinds of ways to seek him. But the scripture says you seek him, you search out what he said, obeying his voice, search out what he said. You need faith. And faith without works is dead. It don't amount to nothing. You got to be doing something. So then I know the argument is, okay, first of all, let's go. Faith without works. Okay, so you got to have works, right? Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy. Hold your place in James. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 real quick. What I want to show you, one of the things we have to be doing that we've been told for a long, long time we don't have to do. Chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us. So there's something we can be doing, learning these commandments, keeping these commandments to the Most High, pleasing him that way. If we believe, if we have faith in him, if we believe that he is the Most High, then we're going to find out, okay, how do you want me to live as your child? And then do that. Find out. And I'm saying get in the word and study for yourself. Don't just print off the list of 613, because if you go into that list and actually study it, you're going to find out there's a lot of traditions that they put in there, that them Khazars, them imposters put in there. So, no, I do not subscribe to the 613. I've done a study, and I know that they ain't all right. And I challenge you to do the same. Find out for yourself. Let the Spirit of the Most High deal with you. Don't believe something somebody else just told you. That's been our problem the whole time. It was my problem for many years. I'm not going to have that problem no more. Now I'm going to look and I'm going to find out for myself. So this is one thing we have to do. We have to do the commandments. Go back to James chapter 1. Okay? Talking about faith. Just real quick. Just a couple of things. Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So if you're going to start doing this stuff, You're going to start proving to the Most High that you do love him, that you do believe him, that you believe that he will reward those that seek him. And you start living out these commandments and proving your faith by your works. Now the scripture is saying that that faith is going to be tried to produce patience. Meaning you're going to have temptations and trials and ways, excuses to not do this or to not do that. It's going to happen. That's part of what this life brings, is that proving, that testing. It's nothing. What the scripture says, that the testing of your faith. Well, that's what it's saying. Some versions say testing. It says that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Some versions say testing worketh patience. Patience for what? Well, the third one, salvation. We're not saved yet. We're still here. We're still in the land of our captivity. We still live among our enemies. We're still being shot. We're still being killed. We're still being enslaved. There's still the prison systems. There's still all these things that let us know we ain't saved yet. Not yet, but it's close. So that faith has to be tried to produce patience, so that we actually get stronger and say, I don't care what you do, I'm not walking away. I'm not giving up. I will persevere to the end. Scripture says, they that endure to the end shall be saved. Those that endure to the end. So let's look at just a couple quick scriptures of what it says at the end of the book. First, let's go to 1 Peter. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 1. 1 Peter chapter 1. Look at verse 9. Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. So the salvation of our souls comes at the end of our faith. That's when we see that salvation, when Messiah cracks the sky and we see that salvation, or we get the kingdom, then our faith would have been complete, because that's what we would have been believing all this time. That if I live how the Most High told me to live, if I keep these commandments, if I refrain from wickedness and from evil, if I love my brother, if I love the Most High, if I keep his Sabbaths, if I keep the dietary laws, not that those works get me saved. The salvation comes from the sacrifice that Christ did. He's the sacrificial lamb. He's the one. Salvation comes through him. But that is not an excuse to not keep the laws, to not continue obeying. It doesn't make any sense when people say we don't got to do that no more, because Christ, he paid it. It's all nailed to the cross. You don't understand. Just because Christ came and paid a price for our disobedience does not mean we get to continue to disobey. That is not a free pass to now disobey all the time because he paid that price. What that did was gave us the opportunity to try again, to get it right. If we fall down, what does Proverbs say? A righteous man fall down 7 times and gets up again. If we fall down, if we sin, we get a chance to get up. We're not killed or put to death because of our sin. Christ paid that price and gave us the opportunity, which is what we call grace, to get it right. It is not an excuse to now just do whatever we want. And any parent knows, if you give your child a direct order, or you give your child some instructions, go clean your room, and they don't do it, and they get punished, that does not negate the command. That does not negate what they're supposed to do. They still got to clean that room. And then sometimes you might give them grace. You might say, okay, I'm going to give you a second warning. You better get in there and clean that room. It still did not negate the command. It still did not negate what we were told to do. So, receiving the end of our faith, the salvation of our souls. Go to Revelation chapter 14. Look at verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. So remember, the trying of our faith produces patience. Well, here's the patience. Here's what some of that patience pays off for, or what it's good for. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Messiah. It says Jesus Christ, and the faith of Jesus, and the faith of Messiah. So, we need faith to please the Most High. Faith ain't just talking. Faith ain't just talking. You prove your faith by what you do. And the one thing that we have to do, if we believe the Most High is going to reward us that seek him, is keep these commandments. Turn our face back to him. Keep these commandments to the best of our ability with where we're at, and endure to the end so that we can receive the salvation of our souls, so that we can get the kingdom. That is excruciatingly important. Some might say paramount, because you have to believe that Messiah came and did what he did for a reason, for a purpose, for you, for me. And the way we show him appreciation, the way we show him that we believe, we have faith that what he did really mattered and it was for us, we keep his commandments. We show him how much we love him. We seek his face. We come out of these false religions, all these idolatries, Christianity, Islam, Egypt, or Egyptology, and all the other things that we're caught up in, our people are caught up in, even living for self, out there on the streets, banging and slanging and pimping and all the other negative wickedness that we're out there doing. We got to come out from that. We got to live according to the Most High's word so that we can receive the salvation of our souls. Many blessings. Shalom.